Hello everybody, today is going to be the first day uh, of this YouTube channel basically. I'm going to kind of be looking at what we do, what we go over, different things, and yeah, we're going to be using some example worlds, some little games that I've made. And these will be tutorials teaching you how to make stuff like this if you ever want to make fun little mini games, or just teaching you overall some kind of advanced techniques in Minecraft commands. So to kind of get straight into it, I'll kind of show you what I have designed up here. Well, you can probably see, but this is a character creation menu. If I go back here, this is character creation. I can pick traits, I can pick classes, I can pick skills, different things. I can pick, different starting stat, whatever. You get the idea. But here's where it comes into play. I'm going to today be teaching you locking and unlocking command blocks, I guess is what I would call it. Or kind of like locking off different paths. This can be used in many different ways. Things like NPC quest systems, if you ever wanted to do like an NPC system where you obviously summon one in, and you can, do whatever to them, but you can use this to where they give you this technique to kind of make dialogue paths, is what I'm getting at. So when we look at this first command here, these commands aren't too complicated. It's the first command is a scoreboard, so of course if you have a little bit of knowledge, you will know that you will have to use scoreboard objectives and add the name of the objective you want to modify with in this case I already have it, but mine is going to be anxious level dummy. But this scoreboard is modifying the objective you made, which is anxious, in my case, anxious level, and adding 1 point to it as long as I do not have the trait tag. So regardless of if I were to press this, it won't give me something. Specifically because I have the trait tag, which is directly after, because this is character creation. Obviously this is situational. Basically, the whole premise is when you're creating your whole class, swordsman, skill gifted, trait, anxious, whatever. When I do this in character creation, this verifies it to where if I press this again, I do not level up my trait, which is a feature. Now, if I press something else, this also works because I have added to where as long as I have the trait tag, the trait tag on any of these command blocks, any of these command blocks, it will not add to them. Okay. So now that we're back, you can see I'm getting the notification to finish and go to character creation. I'll go over how this kind of works. So in the game, without knowing the commands, I would walk up to character class, pick one, oh, I want to be a cleric. Now, something to note, I don't have all of these coded yet, or command blocked, or whatever you want to call it, but so I will try and use a combination that works already, but in the near future all of these will work. But let's say I want to be a cleric. I can buff and heal people, those are just some natural skills I'll get. And my trait I want to have, I don't know, I want to be lively, which morale is a stat, just different kind of quality of life and game features. And so now I go to my skill. What skill do I want? Noted this is a D&D style game. So I have lively, I boost morale. I'm a cleric and I can buff and heal people, so I'm probably going to want gifted. So now you can see I have a class, a skill, and a trait. And now I can pick what starting stat I want. Now, stats could be displayed if you really wanted them to be on that little action bar, but I decided against it considering I needed 4 paths and there's a couple of game details I wanted. But so the starting sets, you can see you have charisma, merchants give you sales, strength, blah blah blah. You can read. So the trait is what I'll be picking just for demonstration purposes, also to check if this works, because recently, as you can see, that's a very long chain command, I changed it. But it works. So essentially, this is a whole do-it-yourself kind of thing, which, you can always have a person give you a tag or whatever, but I feel giving the player a freedom to work alone, kind of like trusting the player to, let me rephrase that, limiting the player to their own devices. I feel not a lot of games that I've played in realms I've been in do, at least unmodded ones. But, I haven't been in the realm game for a while, so maybe it's changed. But something key that I want to look at is what exactly, how did I get this, basically? How did I go from, such, in my opinion, simple commands to that action bar that is very, in my opinion, professional and kind of this whole thing, yeah. But I'm gonna word this as if I'm talking, is what I'm getting at. So, this looks probably a little bit scary unless you're very advanced with commands. It's quite easy, actually. Feel free to, pause and copy this or whatever if you're creating something at the moment. But if you'd just like to know what this does, it is executing as every player with a score, hence the scoreboards, of Iron Stomach level 1 or higher, the 2 periods. And they have the tag into it, and they have the tag swordsman. It will run a Titleraw. So we run a Titleraw command at S. The reason why we put at S or yourself is because we've already defined what player we're looking at. Down, a quick little tip is start with curly brackets, and you will almost always, unless you are getting certain scoreboards within the Titleraw, you will always end with one curly bracket, two curly brackets, and one square bracket, and they will be alternating. So it'll be curly, square, curly. If you are using a scoreboard, it will always end in curly, curly, square, curly brackets. So that's a quick little tip, just something I've noticed that is very useful to know if you are debugging and something is going wrong. And after the text field, you got the colon, you have the quotes, and then you start typing what you want it to say in your action bar. And that little /n just kind of signifies I'm going a line down. As if you're hitting enter in a Word document, it just puts it an indent downwards, or a line downwards, whatever you want to say. And then, I got the kind of stuff going where if I have a score of Iron Stomach, I have the tag, I have another tag, then it will display this information for every player that only has that specific thing. Now, after the Iron Stomach level field, on trait, after that I put a comma, and I can show you what that looks like. Is I actually went in, and if you notice, that is a closed curly bracket right there. That curly bracket is the same one that is over at the end here. It's this one, the one that I'm deleting and replacing. That is that same exact curly bracket, just there's a comma separating it from the ending. and then I restart for score. Make sure you put score and not scores. Keep that in mind. The name, which is @s, and then the objective, which is the objective name. As you can see, there are a lot of these here, and you don't need this many if you don't have this many combinations. I have 3 combinations for 3 different categories. Therefore, I should have 27 command blocks because it's 3 to the power of 3, 3 cubed. So, that's a crazy cave noise. That's basically everything that makes this function. Every single command block you saw in there is just narrowing down in this @A, or at least for those, it's @A. Every single command block is just kind of narrowing down who has the tag and then executing a Titleraw at that person who has that tag or score, or in this case I'm checking for 3 things: a score, a tag, and another tag. But I will be going over this kind of devlog type series as I kind of show you the journey in my command blocks and giving you some tips for yours. Anyways, thank you for watching, and if you have any specific requests, you know, any type of game you think you'd like to see done in Minecraft, I can definitely give you some tips on that, or heck, I can make it myself. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Goodbye.